Hello, big boys and big girls. I welcome you all to another class for mathematics. This is JSS1 mathematics class. Now, the last time we had a class on mathematics, we talked about perimeter measurement and we focused only on perimeter. But this time around, we are going to be doing double of what we did last week. So I want you to follow me as I take this topic step by step. We're going to be talking about areal, A-R-E-A, areal, not perimeter anymore. We're going to be looking at area of shapes, different shapes, area of a rectangle, area of a square, area of a triangle, area of a circle, parallelogram, trapezium, so on and so forth. Now, before you is a shape I call a rectangle. This is a rectangle. This is a square. This is a parallelogram. This is a triangle. This is a trapezium. And the final shape, this is a circle. Now, I'm going to be taking all these shapes one by one, and I'm going to be telling you the formulas for obtaining the areal of these shapes. Let us go back. The first shape we had was called a rectangle. And the areal for obtaining a rectangle, area of a rectangle is length times breadth. I repeat, area for rectangle is length times breadth. The longest side of a rectangle is known as the length, L, while the side that looks as if it is standing, the shortest side, is known as the breadth. Therefore, if in this particular question I give you my length to be 10 centimeter and my breadth to be 3 centimeter, and then I say find the areal of this rectangle, just know that the area of a rectangle is length times breadth, which gives me 10 centimeter times 3 centimeter, which gives me 30 centimeter square. Now, note something here. Last week I told you when you are calculating perimeter, there is no square. You don't put square when you are asked to find the perimeter. But if you are asked to find the area, know that centimeter multiplied by centimeter will give you centimeter square. So therefore, 10 centimeter times 3 centimeter equal to 30 centimeter square. That's the formula for finding areal of a rectangle. Now let's go to the next one, area of a square. Don't forget, a square is the combination of 4 equal lengths. All lengths are equal. So if here is the length, it is also equal with this part of the length. Now, the formula for finding area of a square, you either say length times length, or you call it L square. I repeat, area of a square is length times length or L square. Therefore, if this length is 10 centimeter, equally this length will be 10 centimeter because they are equal. A square has 4 equal lengths. Therefore, my areal, which is L square, will give me 10 square. And what is 10 square? 10 times 10, 100 centimeter square. Don't forget it is in square because you are asked to find the areal. Moving to the next shape, a triangle. The area for finding a triangle, the area of a triangle, is known as half times base times height. Don't forget that. Half times base times height. Half times base. What is your base? The length down, the side down is known as your base. While this particular line that goes up is known as your height. So the formula for finding area of a triangle is half times base times height. Therefore, what is my base? If I'm giving you a question, my base should be 5 centimeter. And my height 8 centimeter. And I'm asking you to find the area of this triangle. Simply say half times base. What is base? 5 centimeter times height. What is height? 8 centimeter, which is 1 over 2 times 5 centimeter times 8 centimeter. So all you have to do is, if you can see any number that can cut, please cut. If nothing can cut, just multiply the numerator and multiply the denominator. Now 2 here 1, 2 in 8, 4, 5 times 4, I have 20 centimeters square. That is how to get the area of a triangle. Let's go to the next one, which is called a parallelogram. Parallelogram. Now, what is the area for finding a parallelogram? Area of a parallelogram. Area of a parallelogram is simply B times H. What is B? Base. What is H? Height. It's called the base times the height. Base times height. The height is from this point. You can look at my hand, the way I'm drawing it. This is my height. Height of a parallelogram. What is my base? The base is the angle or the side at the bottom. This is my base. So the area of finding a parallelogram is base times height. So giving you a question, your base should be, let's say, 10 centimeter, and then given in this question that my height is 7 centimeter, and I'm asking you to find the area of a parallelogram. Base times height is the area, B times H. So what is B? The base, 10 centimeter. What is H? The height, 7 centimeter. 10 times 7 will give me 70 centimeter square. That is the formula for finding area of a parallelogram. Let us go to the next shape. This is a trapezium. Trapezium. A trapezium is not a parallelogram. Please try to differentiate between a trapezium and a parallelogram. Now, if you're asked to get the area of a trapezium, use this formula. The area of a trapezium is known as half in bracket a plus b multiplied by height. I repeat, half in bracket a plus b multiplied by height. Now, where do I know that the place is a? Where do I know where is b, and where do I know the place that is height? Now, in a trapezium, the smallest angle up, the smallest side up from this particular point to this particular point is my A, and this particular point below to this particular point below is my B. That is the longest side down. And then how do I get my height? My height is this particular point. From the top where my point A started from to this particular point is my height. You see the way I showed you where you can find your A, your B, and your H. So if you're asked to find the area of this particular trapezium, and I give you A to be 4 centimeter, I give you B to be 8 centimeter, and I give you H to be 6 centimeter, and I say find the area of a trapezium. Simple. Use the formula for area of a trapezium, half in bracket A plus B times height, which is half in bracket, what is A? A in the question, as I said, is 4 centimeter. B in the question, 8 centimeter, times height. What's height? 6 centimeter. So it will be half in bracket, what is 8 plus 12 plus 4? 12 centimeter times 6 centimeter. So over 1 over 1. 12 times 6. Anybody? Very good. 72 centimeter square. Divided by 2. Don't forget this, your 2. Don't forget your 2. So what is 72 centimeter square divided by 2? At the end of the day, you have 36 centimeter square. That is how to get the area of a trapezium. Half in bracket A plus B times height. And let's move to the last one, which is called circle. Now, I told you last week that perimeter of a circle is also called the circumference of a circle. And what is the formula for calculating perimeter of a circle? The formula for calculating perimeter or circumference of a circle is 2 pi r. Now, we are not doing perimeter here. We are doing area. So don't mistake yourself. The area of a circle is called pi r square. Listen again. The area of a circle is called pi r square. What is the meaning of r? R means radius. So for instance, I give you a diameter that divides the circle to be 14 centimeter. The diameter is 14 centimeter now that divides the circle. Don't forget what's the diameter. A diameter is a line that divides a circle into two equal parts. Now, if my diameter is 14 centimeter, who can tell me how I will get my radius, my r? To get my radius, my r, I just say diameter divided by 2. I divide diameter by 2, I'll get radius. So, to get the area of this circle, which the diameter is 14 centimeter, use the formula pi r square. And what is pi? Pi is usually 22/7 times. What is r? Radius. Look at this question now. R is diameter divided by 2, which is 7 square. And 7 square means 7 times 7. And 7 times 7 is 49. So you have 22/7 times 49/1. 7 here 1, 7 in 49, 7. So who can tell me what is 22 times 7? Anybody? 22 times 7 is what? 154 centimeter square. Very simple. Very, very simple. So you can see, all you have to do is, in order for you to solve all these shapes that I have solved, rectangle, square, triangle, parallelogram, trapezium, and circle. In order for you to solve all these shapes, just know the formula. What's the formula for area of a rectangle? Length times breadth. Area of a square, L square, which is length times length. Area of a triangle, half times base times height. Area of a parallelogram, base times height. Area of a trapezium, half in bracket a plus b times height. And area of a circle, pi r square. Now, it is very, very simple. Just know this formula, you can get it. So let us move on to our new topic, week 5, which is called 3-dimensional shapes. 3-dimensional shapes. I repeat, the topic is called 3-dimensional shapes. So we are going to be seeing shapes that are of 3 dimensionals. Shapes that are of 3 dimensionals. Now, shapes that are of 3 dimensionals is part of what I call geometry. Yeah, it is part of what I call geometry. And geometry is one of the practical sections of mathematics. I'm reading your notes which I sent to you. Geometry is part of a practical section of mathematics which involves shapes and the sizes of different figures and their properties. Now, without wasting much of our time, let's move on to examples of 3-dimensional shapes. An example of a 3-dimensional shape, looking at this example in this video, is called a cube. What did I call? I called it what? A cube. Now, who can give me examples, practical examples of a cube if you've seen a cube before? Examples of a cube include a Maggi cube. Have you seen your mommy cooking in the kitchen? That Maggi cube she uses is an example of a cube. We have Ludo seed, the Ludo die. That one that has number on it, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, around it, going around. So a Ludo die is an example of a cube. We have cubes of sugar. Yes, there are some cubes of sugar, and we have this thing that children usually like, this Choco Milo cube that usually lick it. It looks like chocolate. Yeah, it's an example of cube. Maggi cube, Ludo die, cubes of sugar. So they are it's an example of a 3-dimensional shape. So another one is called a cuboid. This is an example of a cuboid. A cuboid can also be called a rectangular prism. I call it again. A cuboid can also be called a rectangular prism. It is in your notes. Please go through your notes. I'm just rushing to the point so that I can get the explanation fast. Now, examples of this cuboid. If you want to know an example of a cuboid, do you know a matches box? That matches box you use to light your gas in your kitchen, that matches box is an example of a cupboard. There are some Maggi cupboards too. There are some Maggi cupboards that they sell 15 naira, 20 naira. It has 2 or 3 inside it. That is an example of a cupboard. And don't forget, I say a cupboard can also be called a rectangular prism. But let's go back to a cube. Now, a cube, I want you to know something about a cube. A cube has 8 vertices. 8 vertex. Now you are wondering what is the meaning of vertex. A vertex is a point whereby 2 lines meet. Now look at it. A cube has 8 vertices. This is 1, 2. Are you counting with me? Look at it very well. 3. This point where they meet. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So you can see those places I put marks, those are called vertex. A cube has 8 vertex, 12 edges. When I mean 12 edges, you see this line, they are called edges. So count with me. 1, 2, 3, 4. This up one, 5. This one, 6, 7, 8. This particular one down, 9, 10. This particular one up, 11, 12. Have you seen the edges with me? Those lines are called edges. They are called edges. So a cube has 12 edges, and then the last one, a cube has 6 faces. If I ask you now, how many faces can you see on a Ludo die? That's white and black Ludo die that you used to play Ludo. How many faces can you see? You can see 6 numbers, Nabi, which is 6 faces. Don't forget, a cube has 8 vertices, 12 edges, and 6 faces. Now, if a cube has all this, don't forget, a cupboard also have all this. It's just the same thing. Just that the difference between a cube and a cupboard is that a cube looks like square box, while a cupboard looks like a rectangular box. It's very simple. So both cube and cupboard has 8 vertices, 12 edges, and 6 faces. Now, we don't say find the area of a cube. There's nothing like that. We don't say find the area of a cupboard. There is nothing like that. There's nothing like area of this cupboard because they are 3-dimensional shapes. You don't call it area. So what you say is find the volume. We use volume for cube. We use volume for cupboard. We use volume for cylinder. We use volume for sphere. SPHERE, sphere. So we don't use area. So if I say find the volume of a cube, just say the volume of a cube is a cube. That means a raised to power 3, which is a raised to power what? 3. And what is a? A represents the side. The side. So that means the side raised to power 3. A represents the side, means the side raised to power 3. So if I give you a question now, find the volume, not area. Find the volume of this cupboard, because if this particular side is 10 centimeter, this particular side is 10 centimeter, that means that all sides are 10 centimeter because a cube is like square. So if here is 10, everywhere is 10. So find the volume of a cube with side 10 centimeter. So all you have to do is use the formula a raised to power 3, which is a is side. So you say side raised to power 3, which is 10 raised to power 3. What's 10 raised to power 3? That means 10 in 3 places. 10 times 10 times 10. What is 10 times 10? 100. 100 times 10, 1000. Now the difference between this and area is area gets its answer in square, but volume does not get its answer in square. Volume gets its answer in cube raised to power 3. So you see the answer is 1000 centimeter raised to power 3. Very simple. A cube. If the formula for finding volume of a cube is a raised to power 3, which is a cubit, what is volume of a cupboard? The volume of a cupboard is, yes, the volume of a cuboid is length times breadth times height, or you call it length times width times height. Width is the same thing as breadth, so it is length times breadth times height. Length, don't forget, length is the longest side, and in this question, if I say the longest side is 10 centimeter, the longest side is 10 centimeter. What am I solving? I am solving the volume of a cuboid. The longest side is 10 centimeter. The breadth, this side, this is breadth. The breadth is 4 centimeter, and the height, how tall it is, have you seen it, is 5 centimeter. And I say calculate the volume of a cuboid. The volume of a cuboid is length times breadth times height. The length in my question I said is 10 centimeter. The breadth 4 centimeter. That means 10 times 4 times 5. So what is 10 times 4? 40. 40 times 5, 200. So now 200 what? Be careful, because they say volume. So you say 200 centimeter cube. Very simple. So now, let us look at another three-dimensional shapes before I call off this video. A three-dimensional shape I want us to look at is called a cylinder. Another three-dimensional shape is called a cylinder. So now, if you're asked to find the volume, you know now three-dimensional shapes, you don't use area. The volume of a cylinder, you just say the volume of a cylinder is pi r square times h. Pi r square times h. Pi r square times h. Who can remind me what is pi r square? Pi r square, if I can remember, I thought that pi r square is the area of a what? A circle, which is this circle. You can see it now. And height. So we are joining area of this circle plus the height. So you can see that is how cylinder came about. Area of a circle plus the height. And if I'm telling you to find the volume, one more thing, I want you to know that volume means how much capacity can that container carry. If it is a cylinder, how much capacity of liquid can that cylinder carry? If it is a cube, how much capacity of that Maggi cube can this thing carry? So volume means how much capacity can a particular container carry. So if you're asked to find the volume of a cylinder, pi r square h. Now, if I give you radius in this particular question to be 7 centimeter, have you seen it? And I give you height to be 10 centimeter, and I said find the volume of this particular shape. You just use the formula pi r square times height. What is pi? 22/7. What is r? My radius, which I said here, 7 centimeter. So it is 7 square times what is height? 10 centimeter. So 7 cancels this square, because 7 times 7 means 7 square means 7 times 7, and 7 times 7 means 49. So if I cancel it, I'm left to 7. So I'm left with 22 times 7 times 10. So what is 22 times 7 times 10? 22 times 7 times 10 is 1,540. It does not stop there. 1,540 what? Very good. Centimeter cube. So that brings me to the end of this topic. Areal of shapes and volume of three-dimensional shapes. I might not have been able to touch all the parts of the notes, but please also help me. I beg you, help me to read and go over this YouTube video again. If you have watched this YouTube video and you need this YouTube video on this particular teaching, you can contact me, ask me on WhatsApp. I will just copy this video and send it to you so that you can watch it over and over again. It will help you. You can see my book is already full. Look at my book. I have taken my time to solve. Please, after this, do your assignments and be smart boys and smart girls. Stay safe.